Assalamualaikum and very good day to our lecturer, Miss Azlina. My name is Madiha binti Mazlan. We are from Group 4 who would like to present our project, which is Majlis Bandaraya Johor Bharu, MBJB, or Johor Bharu City Council. I will move to the part 1. First is functional requirement. The MBJB website has a search system and also a language option system. Both of these systems are user requirements. User can be able to search the information on what they want and also can choose either Malay or English language while using this website. Second one is non-functional requirement. For MBJB website, an account login alert that the system should be more secure for the user and also performance and stability, that the system should be more faster at loading what users have waiting. Next, I will move to the part 2. First thing is user interface design principle, which is user diversity. In MBJB website, they provide a user language option and also the size of font and theme option. This will make the user difficulties can be improved. Next is type of API. MBJB website has provided Johor online payment for the Johor Bharu citizens to do their payment and bills. Then, the type of API that may improve the website is the Jobs API. By being the third party of job vacancy application, it can make the user search their job through Job Malaysia, Job Street, and so on. Next, I will move to the part 3. First is verification and validation strategies, which is user expectation. When the user makes a complaint through this website, they must have high expectations from the team of MBJB to improve their complaint. Next is cost factors. The old program age and structure of the payment system will make the user's interaction become more difficult. Then is the handover problem. Insufficient knowledge by the team members of MBJB website will make the user's curiosity will not be answered. Next is Lehman's Law. The feedback system can give the users feedback to improve the system. Last but not least is part 4. The system problem is size and complexity of code. As we know that MBJB website has created the search system. If the user inserts too many characters of code, then it is hard for the system to understand the user's input. The comment that I can give to this website is lack of quality images. As we can see from the photos shown, we cannot see clearly what information that they have written. To see it clearly, users need to zoom the image. So that the suggestion that I can give to this website is MBJB need to improve the quality of image before upload into the website. We have researched from all the government agency. From the best agency is Kuantan City Council. As we can see, the information is not so heavy and the picture can be seen clearly.
Welcome everyone, my name is Ayman Bashir Muhammad. Part 1, we have functional requirement. My part was about latest news bar. Johor Bharu website has the latest news bar as it shows in the picture below. Located in the main interface, which it can be seen by the user easily. This feature provides access to several important news, which is very important to the user. It attracts user and provides urgent updates based and can highlight the most critical and latest news to the user. Another functional requirement, we have vote bar. Johor Bharu website allows the users to vote on the website. Will the user submit the vote electronically regarding the website services? We go to the non-functional requirements about portal should ensure that all users can access to the website at any time easily. This involves to make all the website content accessible as well at any time he or she wants. Part 2, user interface design principle. Uh, we have two things here, minimal surprise. The rule of user interface designer is to do not disappoint the user. Uh, the principle is very simple one, but necessary. The user interface should design not to surprise the users and make the button as obvious as possible. As it's shown in this picture, one is not obvious and the other is very obvious to the user. User guidance. Johor Bharu website will provide a lot of user guidance just by clicking on the frequently asked questions icon on the top of the website. Types of API. Translate API is a simple programmatic interface is implemented by translation API to translate any arbitrary string into any supported language using state-of-art natural machine translation. Part 3. Uh, Verification and validation strategies. Validation testing. The validation testing is suitable for our project because as the level of confidence depends on the intention of reveal evaluation that the software meets the requirements of the system. We have many cost factors. One of the most important one is contractual responsibility. In many cases, developers of system may have no contractual responsibility maintenance. As a result of this, there is no incentive to design for future changes. There are many handover problems. One of them is insufficient of communication in the team. All team members should be aware of the system requirements, low productivity, and as a result of this issue, uh, low productivity occurs when individuals don't have data or information they feel they need. Layman's law. Content change. Content change is vital to real-world environment websites such as Johor Bharu website, and it's one of the systems that's necessarily changed in real-world environment. But for there are many way system problems. One of them is server connection timeout error. Uh, Johor Bharu website may have a server connection timeout problem when user take too long time to wait for the website to appear. Website server connection timeouts is a serious problem because it can put potential visitors of the browser through Johor Bharu website or readers from viewing the news and information.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Faris bin Mahdi, and I will be your third presenter for this presentation. So, we will begin with part one. For the functional requirements required in MBJB web portal is, first of all, is file upload and download. The users must be able to upload and download files such as application forms, quotation statements, and many more for official users. And the second one is create, modify, and delete pages. MBJB staff users or portal admins shall be able to create new pages to be displayed to the public. They can also modify the existing pages if any changes are required. A non-functional requirement for the MBJB portal is its space requirement. The MBJB web portal should have enough storage space capacity for operations such as like storing of files and archiving. So the user interface design principle that fits the MBJB web portal, one of them is recoverability. So recoverability means that a system should provide solutions for user errors to allow the user to recover from those errors. So as you can see, these are the text tree. These are clickable. You can go back to the previous pages. Here is the exit button for the image preview, and this is the reset button for the text box and drop down boxes. For the type of API that is available in the MBJB portal, one of them is the ArcGIS private API for JavaScript. So within the MBJB web portal, there is a web application called GeoJB that allows users to see an interactive map of Johor Bharu. So as you can see here, the data from the MBJB archive is sent to the ArcGIS API, and the resulting output is the interactive map output. As you can see here, there are many different markers here, all stemming from the API. So suggestions on the type of API to improve website I would suggest is crime report and record. So the admins of the MBJB website can update the crime report that has been submitted by citizens or local reporters. So for part 3, verification and validation strategies. So one of them is software function. The software function confidence strategy is suitable for this case study project as the level of confidence depends on how critical the software is to an organization. So we can understand that the MBJB web portal is important for the Johor Bahru City Council as it is where users refer to for the latest information and conduct business dealings. So another cost factor that influences the post-development of a software is the skill level of assigned staff members. Usually in the industry, the maintenance part of software development is often assigned to staff dedicated for maintenance tasks. So next one is the handover problem. A problem that would arise during the handover process is the conflict of development approaches between teams. This type of conflict occurs when the original team and the evolution team uses different approaches in software development. For example, the original team may have used a plan-based approach for development, but the evolution team prefers agile methods more for development. So one of Lemon's laws that apply to the web portal case study is continuing growth. Continuing growth states that the functionality offered by systems has to continually increase in order to maintain users' satisfaction. So the MBJB web portal is a government agency website which is used by the public many times for official businesses and information. And for the last part 4, a system problem that will arise is the web portal's support on devices. There might be a risk that the portal becomes unsupported and unreliable due to its specifications for a number of reasons. Firstly is its reliability on hardware. If the user tries to use old hardware, the portal would be unusable as old hardware is often unsupported. The web portal may be rendered obsolete and unsupported yet again due to advancements in software technology. In this case, system reliability is the key as developers would need to make sure despite future advancements, the system will still do what it is meant to do. So to end our presentation is that I will leave you with some comments and suggestions for the MBJB website. So my comment is the website has a generic design. So if you look up other districts' web portals, the MBJB portal and the other districts' web portals has a generic look and is similar in terms of design. You will see in the diagrams after this, all portals are very similar as they may be using the same systems, but it's changed according to each district needs. As you can see here is the website for Majlis Pembandaran Kuantan, Majlis Pembandaran Kajang, and here is the MBJB's web portal. As you can see, they all look pretty much similar as you can see by the tabs here. And lastly is my suggestion. I would suggest more simpler and more interactive pages. So most pages providing information in the MBJB web portal are often bland and cluttered. A solution to this would be to provide more minimalist and more interactive pages so that the information is delivered well and is presented in a more interesting way. This in turn would attract more users as the web portal's pages are more user-friendly and more efficient in delivering information.
So I'm the fourth presenter. My name is Muhammad Azizuzal. My ID is CB20055. So for part 1, we have the functional requirement, which is the audit tracking. The MBGB website has an audit trail which has a set of records or documentation. The audit trail will record any sort of event or activities and will show those recorded events in its history. This can be very helpful to the users that want to keep in track with the events that have happened during a period of time. The other functional requirement is the feedback and complaint. The website has given the user the ability to make any complaint if there are any glitches or bugs that can be located. User can also give any suggestion for any improvement that can be done or any option that could be added to the website. This will be very helpful to the admins of the website to make any improvement or fixes that has been received from the user's feedback. The non-functional requirement is the usability requirement. The MBJB website should have an easy understanding for the user. The information given is neatly arranged in the website with its own category. This helps users that want to find any information in the website faster and also efficient. So for part 2 is the user interface design principle, user familiarity. Some of the commands that are located in the MBJB website have an icon or images that users are very familiar with, which allows the user to understand the function immediately. It also helps the user to easily navigate through the website and find what they are looking for. These 4 commands in the MBJB website has an image that represents what the command is, which let the user to understand it. The type of API is the Services API. The Service API HitMart provides user to do online businesses such as letting the user to either pay or check for any online transaction that is in the MBJ website. The user can also apply or even book any facilities that are currently available. The type of API to improve the website is the Crime Report and Records API. The admins of the MBJB website can update the crime report that has been submitted by citizens or local reporters. This can help the citizen or of Johor Bharu to identify any crime that happened in or near the area. Therefore, the citizens of Johor Bharu will take safety precautions when leaving their house. This is an example of a crime report and record that the MBJ website could add, which will report the exact crime they did, location, status, and others. So for part 3 is the verification and validation strategies. Defect testing. It is the most it is the developers of the MBJ website's duty to successfully find any defects that are located in the MBJ website. A defect can forbid the user from any interaction or action to be completed in the MBJ website. It is the most important task for a tester to find any defect as soon as possible so it can be fixed. All of the bugs and defects should be recorded and tracked so that it can be properly managed and resolved. The cost factor is the scope. The scope is likely to change many times because of the feedback that it may receive, and the developers will need to remove some features or add more features to their product. When new features are being added, it can increase the cost, and obviously the larger the scope, the bigger the cost of the product, especially if it is more complex. This can be related to MBGB website since there will be feedback received. Those feedbacks are most probably about how to improve the MBGB website. The handful problem is the team behavior. If teams cannot respect each other's work or are not willing to take any advice from their colleague, then there will not exist any teamwork nor bonds between the teams. Each team needs to set aside their selfishness and work as a team to tackle their project so it can be finished within the time period given. Every team must also be willing to take any advice from the others, especially if it can help improve their work. Some improvement or any features that are being added in the MBJ could be delayed because the teams could not cooperate with each other. So the Lemons Law is the increasing complexity. The MPG website structure is going to continuously evolve as more functions and features are added into it. Storage resources must be devoted in order to preserve and simplify its structure. The result of increasing complexity also means that there are more errors might occur in the system. The maintenance and enhancement will also take longer time to complete. The cost is going to keep increasing as more functions is being added. So for the last part is part 4, the system problem, education experience and training of development personnel. The problem that can be related to the software reliability hardware and software is the lack of education, experience, and training of the MBJ website development personnel. The lack of training and desired skill can cause the system to have a huge number of faults. It can also cause work-related stress and poor job performance. New features and functions must be implemented in the MBJB website as soon as possible so it can be satisfied its citizens. That is all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day. I'm Sarah Akila, CA19043, the last presenter for this project. Okay, for the part one is functional requirement. There is two functional requirements that I found is first is announcement and the second one is e-payment transaction. For the announcement is in the middle of the center of the website there is announcement slot that used by the authorities to post something important. This is because not everyone will know where the information to get information besides media. So the announcements really help people to get latest news or and also notice that they want to know. Okay, for the second one is e-payment. So nowadays, as we know, some people are comfortable with online transaction rather than wasting their money just to go back and forth to the ATM machine to make payment. So in the website, there is some e-payment site that have many types of bank that they can choose whatever they want, and they will be redirected to the main page of the bank that they use. There's also JOP, which is stand for Johor Online Payment, which is specific for Johor people to pay their taxes online. This is very helpful to people who wants to make payment online. Next is the non-functional requirement, which is privacy policy. Privacy policy is very important as the user will aware about the MBGB website, collect their personal information, and will not disclose the information. Okay, for the part two is for the user interface design principle. What I found is consistency. Consistency is very important in the user interface design since it will influence user to learn the website easily. In MBJB website, it can clearly be seen that the font used is the same, which is they look and behave the same way. The color of the wording also consistent, which is majority is used blue and black. If the user did not like the color, there is still another option for them to change it. Okay, next is type of API. There is time API in MEJB website, which is will provide the information for people to know the current time. But the time shown in the website is following the device time, and it is not fixed as Malaysian time. So the next one is type of API to improve website. In my opinion, as we discussed, we come out that hotel list should be provided in the website, which is we can see that the visitor segment in the website. We show all the info about Johor Bharu, about public transport, interesting places, and so on. But there is no information about the hotel. So by adding the hotel list or providing hotel platform may increase MJB website functionality where visitors will easily book or get information about hotel in Johor Bahru. Next is part three is verification and validation strategies. So which is marketing environment. Marketing environment confidence strategy is suitable for our project. We know that MJB website is a government website which is very important for Johor Bahru people. This is what show that getting the website to be produced early in the market is very important than finding the defects on the program. As the time passed by, of course, the website need to follow the standard of the current time. So there will be maintenance or upgrade process for the website, which will fix the defects at the same time. The next one is cost factor, which is team stability. When the staff who used to build the program is a part of the maintenance team, it will reduce the maintenance cost. As we know that the teamwork is very important in team to make work happen by having same team members or staff that have been working together for a long time. This will increase the productivity and will cut off the time for the maintenance. The next one is handover problem, which is for documentation. Documentation is very important to deliver the right message to be fully understand the project. When the documentation was done in poor way or incomplete due to a lot of problems such as pressure of times or lack of team cooperation, it will cause the documentation did not reach the standard and fail to satisfy the other team when it is handed over to another team. Because next is Lemons Law. So for the law is continuing growth stated that functionality offered by the system has to continually increase to maintain user satisfaction. For example, when MJB website there is e-payment site where Johor Bahru people can pay their taxes or bills there. This is one of the example of continuing growth in the world we live in is all on our finger to keep track with the world changes and the websites need to be up to date and follow the changes in order to be compatible for the public to use it comfortably. Next is the part 4, which is system problem. The problem that might be found is execution failure undetected. So when the person who will do the operation or testing of the system did not behave the same as the user will, the system will more likely to fail. When the failure happens, the system will be introduced to faults and will be undetected later. For example, in MBJB website, when the failure during testing is undetected and the website already publicized for public use, the user will have some problems since the person who tested did not behave or operate the system the same way as the user did. So that it's from group 4. Thank you.